going live once again. We're excited to go live a little more frequently this week. I think we're scheduled for Monday through Friday. And these interactions are fun. These interactions are fun because they are giving us an opportunity to reveal what it's like to have direct interaction with us, what it's like to be in close proximity with us, what it's like to be able to get your questions answered in real time. That's what these interactions are for, so that you can get a feel for the strength of that. And imagine when you feel stuck, or imagine when you have questions today based on life experience at your job, or based on life experience with your children, or based on life experience with your spouse or partner, and you are focused inward and you're not able to find that face of fear that is sourcing your expression, that aligns you with the experience that you have come in contact with, that you consciously do not desire. Imagine being in close proximity with a God that can quickly move you or support you in moving in the right direction, accelerate the process. That's our goal, is to support you in accelerating the process. And these interactions are just a glimpse of what's possible. We're excited to be here. We're excited for those of you who are here and will support us in the creation of this interaction. We're excited for those of you who have found this recording and allowed us to be of support in that manner. If you are new, be sure to subscribe so that you can be alerted of when new content is uploaded the next times we're going live. Be sure to check the description. We have a free offering. We have the reality shift checklist for those of you who know you've been on this path for a long time. Even those of you who maybe haven't been on this path for a long time, but you accept the fact that you are creating and you've got all of these processes. You've got all the things that everybody's saying that you're watching and reading in your media sources, but you're still not able to, or haven't been able to, really hone in on the process and begin to see the effects of your play and practice in your physical experience. What is probably the case is that you're not working directly at your core. The 4 steps that we describe in the reality shift checklist direct you to your core, your foundation, which is where you want to be working if you really want to affect and speed up the process. These four steps are accompanied with videos that we created that you will have access to, that support and give in-depth information for each step so that you can begin to apply them immediately. Beyond that, you will be a part of our offline community in which you will be alerted to workshops, opportunities to connect with us, and things of that nature that we have going on outside of this platform. Also in the description, you will find the link to the information for our most grand offering, which is our private community, which is where you will find the direct contact, where you will find the consistent availability for you to get your questions answered so that you can move quickly, where you will find a community and everything that you need, from information to support, that will enable you to begin to, we don't necessarily like the word combat, but your challenge at the moment is, number one, all of these pieces that you have, but not necessarily being able to bring them together into a coherent fashion, in order that you can understand this, and this is what you need to be doing. And also the material that is flooding your external senses. This is most often in contrast to the material that you need to be sown in your inner creative process in order to create the life that you actually desire. Having community, having the support, having those that you are connected to on the same path, that support the material that you are entertaining inside of your mind and body, that is in contrast to that which is being offered from the external. is massive when it comes to your desire to speed up the process of your growth and expansion so that you can begin to resonate and create the experiences that you actually desire in your life. You have that potential. It doesn't have to take a lifetime. You can know now versus when you make your transition, and that's what we are desiring to do, is to help you to speed up that process. So today, this is, let's see, kind of in front of us here, episode 96 maybe of Accelerating Your Journey. And the topic is, what does it mean to be authentic? There's a reason why your life, why it feels like something's off about your life. What does it mean to be authentic? Let's talk about it. Conscious creators, your authenticity, your uniqueness is rooted in the plan that you set for yourself before you entered into your physical body. And the reason that things feel off in your life at times, or the reason why things feel off, period, is because you're not in alignment with the plan that you set for yourself. Now, yes, it is possible that what you call pain, what you call suffering, from your perspective, was a part of your plan. Not was, most likely is. Not even most likely. If you were born into a circumstance, if you had circumstance happen to you, traumatic events that happened to you, occurred to you when you were a child, before you were even conscious that you were creating, it was a part of the plan that you set for yourself, for you to understand and grow from those experiences. It was experience. Understand that in source there is no high, low, good, bad, right, wrong. There is experience being created based on the vibrational expression that you're offering, based on the level of knowledge and understanding that you have about who and what you really are. And that's what you're coming in contact with now, so that you can begin to grow from those type experiences like a rare flower coming out of the swamp into that which you truly are and can be, with the knowledge and understanding from that experience. Understand that there are people all over your planet, there always have been, that have grown and bloomed into beautiful, amazing flowers from not so great beginnings. This is the truth. Again, it was experience. You were the chooser of the parents, of the circumstance, so that you could have the experience. Understand that first and foremost. Now, your authenticity is rooted in you being true to yourself. How do you know if you're being authentic or not? Are you following your truth? Are you following that which you are being inspired to from the inside out, not from the outside in? Mother and father have told you what you should and shouldn't be doing. Society is telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. You are seeing with your externally faced senses what you should and shouldn't be doing by the behaviors, actions, activities of others. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's your path. Especially now that you're consciously aware and you look and you see that most are being guided by fear. That is not your path. And that's not anybody's path. To be guided by fear is not to be inspired. When you've ever been inspired purely, was there any fear there? When you look, what you'll find is that in the initial spark of that inspiration, there was no fear. But when you start thinking about what's next, and you start thinking about the details of the experience, that's where the fear, that's where the insecurity comes in. That's where the mind gets activated. In that initial spark, there is no mind. But when you start considering the details, that's when the mind comes into play. Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I can't move across the country. Oh, I can't travel to that place. I don't know the language. Oh, I can't write a book. I don't know what I would write about. I have never done that before. All of these things come into play when the mind starts getting active. But in the initial spark, there is no mind. And this is not just about the things, the grand things, or you think things that you may perceive to be grand that we just mentioned. It can be about what store to go to find that item that you've been looking for. When you become more in tune with yourself and your truth, and you begin to look inward for your guidance, not for any just great spiritual guidance and understanding. We're talking about the vacuum cleaner that you're looking for. We're talking about the car that you're looking for. We're talking about the grocery item that you're looking for. You are being inspired to those things in the location, in the place, at the moment that's most perfect for you all the time. But you miss it because you're not looking inward. And you're using mind more than you're looking to your inner guidance. Benny cooks almost all the time now intuitively. The items, the seasonings, all of the things that are put into the food, he's following his inner guidance. He's been doing it for a long time now. What should be for dinner today? He follows his inner guidance. It's become a habit for him. And he's working on making that level of guidance, allowing and perceiving that level of guidance a habit in every area of life. But he knows, he sees that he's been following that guidance for what to prepare for dinner for a long time now. It's been years that when he goes to a restaurant, he scans the menu to see internally what is highest and best for him at that moment. And internally, there are signs. It may be flashing on the menu. It may be the brightest thing on the menu. There may just be a pull to it. He often can pretty quickly get it narrowed down to 2 or 3 things and then have to focus on those 2 or 3 things to see which one stands out. You're constantly being guided inside out. And when you begin to discover that again, when you begin to look for it and build the muscle of that inner guidance, you'll begin to find your inspiration. You'll begin to find your authenticity. I've been invited to 2 events. This event feels right for me. This one is not as bright. It doesn't feel as exciting. You should go here. And when you go here, what's going to happen? Something is there for you. Whether it's a conversation that may or may not be something that affects your life, or it may be a conversation that affects next steps, that answers questions that you've been holding. You may go to a family event that you hadn't planned to go to and get information or be privy to conversation that has to do or supports you in an idea that you were entertaining at your job. Why? Because alignment is alignment. And when you're following your inspiration, you're moving from circumstance to circumstance, experience to experience that feel good because your inspirations are sparks and they don't carry fear and they feel good. And if you're able to follow that, if you're able to decipher between your inspirations and your mind, the mind of humanity, if you're able to make that distinction and follow without fear, you will find yourself coming in contact with information, coming in contact with resources, i.e. people or otherwise, that supports you in the next and the next and the next steps. And just because you went to a family function or an entertainment event doesn't mean that you're not aligned in that event with that which you need for your job or that which you need for another area of life. They may not look connected at all. But alignment is alignment. And when you're consistently in alignment, following your inner guidance, being inspired, being your most authentic self, the closest you can to the truth of you in source. Well, the information, the resources, the collaborative components that are in alignment with you and that which you are intending in your life are able to find you more cleanly and more quickly, because alignment is alignment. At the moment, your authenticity is masked by fear. It is masked by the conditioning and the programming. All of the things that you think you should be doing are masking over your authenticity. Then comes your fears. Then comes your insecurities. Then comes the presence or the absence of significant value in which you see yourself that hinders your ability to act. There's a myriad of things at this moment that may or may not be masking over your ability to be authentic. And this is the play and practice, is to begin to uncover those things, is to begin to peel off the layers so that you can begin to identify your truth. Now, the funny thing is that you have inspirations bubbling up inside of you all the time. When you're driving, when you're focused on a thing and the mind is not wandering, when you're focused on something and the mind is empty versus over that one thing, or you're driving. You know, when you're driving is a perfect time, because when you're driving and you're just kind of there and you have the movement outside of the vehicle going on and you kind of fall into a meditative, hypnotic state, and you get those flashes of possibility. You get those flashes of potentiality that are unique to you. Those are inspirations. Many of you right now know you have inspirations inside of you. Something to do, somewhere to go, a business to start, an idea that you want to explore, but you have yet to do it. Because the mind is saying one thing, your programming, your conditioning is saying one thing, and most likely it's in opposition to that spark. Truth is, you were designed to follow the sparks. And the sparks are there because of the plan that you set for yourself when you entered into your physical body. It was never the design for you to be stuck in your traumas. It was never the design for you to be stuck in your mishaps, in what you call pain. That was never the design. But that's part of what has occurred on your plane. The conditioning, the programming is predominantly that of fear. And if you are in that vibration where you can't see the other options, you can't see the other choices. If you are predominantly in that vibration, in that frequency, and your dominant ideas are born of that frequency and rooted in that frequency, well, that's all you can see mentally. That's all you can see. You can't see other options. Even though the person beside you may be having an amazing experience at the exact same time and you're having a not so great experience, but you don't even see them having an amazing experience, and therefore you don't question why you're not having that same type of experience. What's the difference between you and them? You're not asking those questions because you're so rooted in the level of frequency that you've been conditioned to, that you're not even aware that others are having a different experience in the same arena. The frequency you've been conditioned to, the dominant ideas you have been programmed to, they are dictating your perception. They are dictating what you see in the world. So you're only seeing that which you have been conditioned to on the inside. You have to understand that so that you can begin to look for and sort for other options, other opportunities, other ways to think, other ways to feel in the exact same experience. If you take a work environment that you're not happy with, that you're not feeling good about on your drive to work or on your ride to work, you're already not happy about the experience that you already believe is going to be the same as it was yesterday or that it always is. Well, it's doomed to always be that because you're already in the vibration of that experience. But if tomorrow you're on your way to that position and you get yourself into a higher frequency state, you start thinking about your favorite vacation spot. You start thinking about that last birthday party that you went to and had an amazing time. When you get yourself into that feeling state, when you get to your job, you will be in a different frequency, and therefore you will be perceiving the environment and the experience from a different platform. And with your perception being different because you're in a different frequency, you will see different things. You will have the opportunity to make different choices, different behaviors, think differently. Why? Because you're in a different frequency. Your most authentic self, following your inspirations, takes you from high vibe experience to high vibe experience to high vibe experience. But you have to condition yourself to be that, because that's not what you are right now. That's not who you are right now. But now that you know that's who you can be, you have to begin the process of conditioning yourself to be that more and more consistently. Why? Because you have been conditioned out of it. That's why. And that's why we're here, to speed up that process for those of you who are ready to make this journey a priority. For those of you who are ready to make your inner makeup a priority, to turn your attention inward and focus on the material that you are sowing. Take power over the material that you are sowing into your inner creative process and begin to turn a deaf ear to that which is trying to penetrate your inner being from the external. You are who we are here for. And there are ways, there is a way to speed up this process, but it requires certain things to be in place. And again, that's why we're here. We love you very much. Again, thank you for those of you who are here. Your energies, your frequencies have supported the creation of this interaction. If you have questions, comments, if you have been inspired to new ideas and you would like us to discuss those further, feel free to place those in the chat and we will take a look at those. Hey Madeline, if that's how you say it correctly, glad you're here. Any questions, any comments, anything you were inspired to that you would like for us to discuss? It's chilly here today, even though the things are starting to bloom. Again, any questions, any comments, anything you were inspired to that you would like for us to discuss? Excellent. Excellent. So if we don't have anything today, again, we are thankful, grateful for each of you. For each of you who have supported the creation of this interaction, we're thankful for those of you who have found this recording, watched it all the way to the end, allowed us to be of support in that manner. We are here for you. We love you very much. We will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are inspired, we will see you then. And we will talk to you soon.